That night, John made love to Lisa in another romantic way. Lisa felt every bit of it, the gentle move of her husband. She held her husband so close to herself and began to touch him gently in another way. They got so deep and was at the height of it. John lost control and got even more deeper and more harder. John and Lisa had been married for 5 years. Their relationship, once full of love and respect, had begun to sour. Lisa, influenced by her circle of friends, had grown increasingly critical of John. Her friends frequently compared their husband's performance in different aspects of marriage, including the bedroom. Lisa couldn't help but feel that John was falling short. Unknowingly to Lisa, her friends were hiding the truth about their own marriages. Many of them were suffering in silence, enduring abuse and neglect from their husbands. They kept up appearances, sharing only the positive aspects of their relationships, while concealing the painful reality. They did this to protect their pride and to avoid exposing their marital issues to the group. Lisa thought her friends were real. Her dissatisfaction turned into resentment, and she began speaking harshly to John. She belittled him and questioned his ability to fulfill her needs. The constant nagging and disrespect weighed heavily on John, but he loved his wife deeply and wanted to make her happy. Determined to prove his worth, John started researching options to enhance his male organ. He consulted with a reputable doctor and decided to undergo a procedure that promised significant results. The procedure was painful and the recovery slow, but John endured it for the sake of Lisa. Weeks later, John has healed enough to surprise Lisa. He prepared a romantic dinner, hoping to rekindle their lost connection. As they sat down to eat, John noticed Lisa was preoccupied. She barely touched her food and seemed distant. After dinner, he gently took her hand and led her to the bedroom, revealing the change he has made for her. That night, John made love to Lisa in another romantic way. Lisa felt every bit of it, the gentle move of her husband. She held her husband so close to herself and began to touch him gently in another way. They got so deep and was at the height of it. John lost control and got even more deeper and more harder. Lisa felt a little pain and tapped John to stop. She was shocked, but not in a way John had hoped. Instead of appreciating his sacrifice and telling him how she wants it done, slowly and gentle, and then getting deep there finally, she criticized him for going too far. "This is too much for me. It is bigger than I thought," she complained. "Why didn't you do a moderate one?" Her words cut deep, but John tries to hide his disappointment. In the following weeks, Lisa's discontent grew. She began spending more time with her friends and less with John. One day, while shopping for provisions, she met a tall, handsome man. They struck up a conversation, and Lisa felt an immediate attraction. They exchanged contact information and soon began an affair. Lisa's treatment of John began even more callous. She compared him unfavorably to her new lover and eventually decided to leave him. John was heartbroken. He had done everything he could to make her happy, but it was never enough. Unable to bear the pain, John got into depression. He couldn't find solace in anyone else, as his love and heart still belonged to Lisa. His overwhelming sense of loss and rejection led him to a dark decision. One lonely night, John took his own life by hanging himself in their once shared bedroom. Lisa, now living with her new lover, soon discovered the harsh reality of her choices. Her new partner was controlling and abusive, prone to violence. Fearing for her safety, Lisa fled without a word, leaving behind the life she thought she wanted. Desperate and remorseful, Lisa returned to the home she had shared with John, hoping for reconciliation. She knocked on the door repeatedly, but there was no response. Her persistent knocking drew the attention of the neighbors, who came out to see what was happening. Recognizing Lisa, they broke the devastating news. The neighbors explained how they hadn't seen John for several days, and out of concern, they broke into the house. They found him hanging, lifeless in the bedroom. The news hit Lisa like a ton of bricks. She fell to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably, realizing the full weight of her actions. Lisa has lost everything: the man who had loved her unconditionally and the chance for redemption. She was left alone with her guilt and regret, haunted by the memory of John and the life she could have had. The tragic end served as a stark reminder of consequences of her choices, leaving her in a perpetual sorrow and despair. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.